we're gonna be doing past to present, and I want you guys to give me a player from the past and their current day comparison, and explain why you think they're similar.
Easy enough. All right, we're gonna jump over to the board for this one. I'm gonna kick us off. I want to give a big shout out first to Kenny. He gave me the inspiration for this pick. The best role players of all time, 1 and 2 right here. Enough said. You got Draymond, absolute demon, boards, defense, leading the reason he came back from his suspension. The Warriors became slightly better. We'll see how they do after the All-Star break. This is, half of Kenny's take. I'm also in support of Kenny's take. We talked about this on the last show. And then Dennis Rodman is Dennis Rodman, defensive rebounding. It doesn't get much better than how he played and the support he had for MJ throughout their entire 90s stretch. Draymond the same exact way for the Warriors dynasty in the 2010s, and that's still continuing to this day. They were both impact players late in their careers, and throughout the entirety of their careers, Draymond is still making a big impact. Sure, he might be a little chippy here and there, but that's exactly what you want. Both of these guys were chippy guys. Talked back a lot, referees, other players, a lot of smack talk all around the board. That's my comparison. Enough said. Draymond, Rodman.
I like that.
Done deal.
Best with passing. Draymond, you got passing. Rodman, you kind of got rebounds.
Exactly. I mean, I don't see a much better comparison. Once again, shout out Kenny for the inspiration for that comparison. And there we go. Will, what you got?
Time for my pick. I'm going to go guards here. One of them's still playing, but it's obviously kind of not in the peak of his career. I'm going with Ja Morant and Derrick Rose. I think that they're just so very, very similar. If you kind of look, and it's kind of, we don't know how the rest of Derrick Rose's career would have played out, and we don't really know how Ja Morant's career is going to play out, but they're both, if you look at their first 5 seasons, both Rookie of the Years, both top draft picks. Their third season, that was when Rose won his MVP. That was when Morant won Most Improved. They were averaging about 27. They're both similar with the way that they're slashers. They're very athletic guys who get to the rim. They don't shoot the best from 3, but they still shoot a respectable amount. And if you just look at the teams that they were on during the time, Derrick Rose had Joakim Noah, who was the Defensive Player of the Year. Ja Morant had Jaren Jackson, who was the Defensive Player of the Year. They were the 1 seed that 1 year.
Don't forget Steven Adams.
Yeah, I think they were the 1 seed, I think, that year in about 2010. The Grizzlies had a 2 seed year. There's extremely just similar players. They kind of have this similar attitude. I guess Ja Morant's a little bit more outgoing and has a little bit more problems kind of outside the court, and hopefully he can get that all settled. And hopefully we get to see, I think when people say, what if Derrick Rose, I think we'll see that with how Ja Morant's career plays out.
I like it. I'm a fan of that one.
I like that.
Big fan of that take.
And then
What you got?
I decided to take some not as well-known players. You know who they are. I took Cam Thomas of the Brooklyn Nets and Joe Johnson, also known as ISO Joe. I took both of these guys because they are elite scorers. They have a very similar play style, and that play style is give them the ball and get out of the way. Let them go to work. Games on the line, shot clock's running down. These are the guys you want to have the ball. They got no fear, all confidence, and they're going to get you a bucket every single time, especially when the game's on the line. And I especially like Cam Thomas because I believe this year he started the first 3 games of the year, scored 30 in all 3 games that he started. Only the second player ever to do that besides Shaq. So he's in good company, and he's a young player, and I think he's on the come up. The Nets need to use him more than he is. But these guys, just if you watch them side by side, the similarities are remarkable. There's always attacking. They got the go-to fade away, and they're just going to get the ball in the bucket every single time, without a doubt.
Bingo.
I like that.
A little more. I mean, we got slightly more outlandish the farther we've gotten. Carter, you bringing us back to reality here?
So, a little bit of both.
Little bit.
So this is my pick, Anthony Edwards and Michael Jordan. Okay, so first of all, I want everyone, at home who has a phone, internet, go Google Anthony Edwards and Michael Jordan. You're going to find a nice, cool picture of their faces split. And it's weird how much they look alike. But not just about how much they look alike, the absolute aura that both of these players have. These guys are the heart and soul of their team. And without them, their team, their franchise, well, we'll see with Anthony Edwards, really is nothing. Without MJ, the Bulls, who cares? And I think that's going to be the same thing with Anthony Edwards here. I think Anthony Edwards is going to revive and put just juice in this Timberwolves franchise that we haven't seen since KG. I'm a huge fan of his play style. It's very similar to Michael's. It's, he's not as good as Michael, obviously. Michael is, the second best player of all time. But I seriously
You just
think,
angered some people.
Oh, I know.
You just angered some
I
people.
I can hear it, but, I don't care. But But yeah, I seriously think Anthony Edwards has a bright future. I don't know if he'll be as good as Michael Jordan, like I'm saying, but their play styles are similar. They both have that dog in them, and I just love players that have dog in them. Because I know when I see a player like Anthony Edwards and Michael Jordan, I know when the game is on the line, I have faith that my star is going to win the game. So these are two dogs, top of their game, and I love them both, even though LeBron is better than Michael Jordan.
Does that mean Anthony Edwards is the second best player of this generation?
Yeah,
That's a loaded question right there.
Jokic. All right.
Are they in the same generation? Can we consider them the same generation?
I'm just messing. All right.